Hello everyone, welcome back. I wanted to share an experience with you guys today. Um, Over the last, 3 weeks, I had noticed that a lot of people were accidentally bump firing this Palmetto PX9. Okay, um, it wasn't happening that often, but it was happening, and I was assuming that they just were not pulling the gun tight into their shoulder, right? And it was usually a girl that was doing it. So today I was at a different range, and I had this girl shooting it, and I noticed that she was doing like 2 and 3 round bursts, like almost like one after the other. She's like, brr, brr, brr. I'm like, well, there's something going on here. I'm telling the girl, put it tight to your chest, and now I'm actually studying her, right? So now it's almost like I'm studying this now in a controlled environment. Like I can see that she's pulling the gun tight into the chest, and it's going 2 and 3 round bursts. So let me take the gun. So I take the gun and I shoot it myself. I'm pulling the trigger. I'm going boom, 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 shooting normal. Then what I do is I'm shooting it. I'm pressing it. I'm holding down the trigger, letting it go. It's shooting normal, right? Holding it, pressing it, holding it down, letting it go, shooting normal. That's not the issue. I try holding it like light on my shoulder and shooting it both those ways. It's shooting normal. So it's like, how's this girl doing 2 and 3 round bursts? All right, let's try something a little bit different. What I did is I'm aiming at the target, and now I squeeze the trigger like just really lightly, like I barely touch it. I just move it just a little bit, and all of a sudden, 3 shots. Brrr, holy crap! Right? I do it again. Brrr. So in 2 and 3 round bursts, occasionally it would jam up where I would have to the trigger group would lock up, where I would have to flip the safety on, flip it off to unjam it. But it was doing 2 and 3 round bursts, like pretty consistently at that point. So I thought I had changed the trigger group on this AR around 10,000 rounds. I guess I made a mistake. So this gun has about, 13,000 rounds now on the original trigger group. AR-15 trigger groups wear out. Okay, now I've worn out several AR trigger groups over the last couple of years. Usually by 10,000 rounds, I've worn it out. What usually happens is that the trigger will just lock up. So like you press it, you'll go bang, or you'll press it and it'll just lock up, or if it goes bang, it just won't reset. So it's usually something along those lines. There was one prior time I had seen it where it was doing the 2 round burst thing, but it wasn't doing it consistently. I just changed it. But this time it's like with the trigger group I had in this gun, if you were squeezing it ever so lightly, it was doing the 2 and 3 round bursts pretty consistently. So, again, it's not a problem with the gun; it's a problem with the trigger group getting worn out. Now, this Palmetto PX9 has a standard AR-15 trigger group. Okay, it's a standard mil-spec trigger group. So this will happen to any AR-15 out there that has a mil-spec trigger group. Now I did replace this with an ALG. Not that I think that's any different. Like I said, AR trigger groups are about 10,000. They have 10,000 round lifetimes. Most people never get to shoot that many rounds. Okay. Now, 9mm rifles, they tend to shoot a lot more rounds than standard ARs that shoot like 223. Because hey, if you think about it, with 223 you're buying it usually 20 round boxes, but with 9mm you're buying 50 round boxes. So it ends up being a little bit cheaper. So your 9mm rifles are gonna end up doing a lot more rounds. There are times when I was busy, traveling around the Northeast, where I can do like 10,000 rounds like in 3 or 4 months. Okay, of 9mm. It's gonna happen. Now they don't, like I said, I've worn out several AR trigger groups. They don't always wear out the same way. Sometimes they just lock up. That's usually a common thing I see. But this one wore out where if you just like touched it, it gave you like a 2 and 3 round burst. So I didn't want to do a live demonstration because I didn't want anybody to present this as evidence that I've converted the gun into like a full auto or anything. And I didn't, I was just shooting the gun. It's just how that trigger group wore out. But all the same, I didn't want to put that on video. But I'm putting this video out there as an informational video So if you guys experience this, right, whether it be on a Palmetto PX9 or any other AR-15, know that it can happen, right? It's happened, and you just gotta change the trigger group. You can get them pretty cheap. Right now they're like $60 for a trigger group. You can go to Optics Planet, get an ALG. They used to be cheaper, but now everything has gone up in price. So, like I said, I just wanted to put this information out there. So this is on the Palmetto PX9, but it just takes a standard AR, mil-spec trigger group. So this can happen on any AR-15. It's just that, AR triggers are, they're basically, they have a lifespan of, they're rated for about 5,000 rounds. Okay, so they'll easily get you up to 5,000 rounds, but somewhere between 5 and 10,000 rounds, you can expect that trigger is gonna go bad on you. In one way or another. It might just lock up. It might, might do the 2 and 3 round bursts like the one I had was doing. But just be aware of it. Okay, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you're not a member, subscribe. I'll talk to you guys soon.